a mother of a kid dancer Tong Tong. The doctor says there is no high hope for my daughter. Only 2/3 chance my child won't be able to stand up unless a miracle happens. In essence, it means she might not be able to stand up. After hearing this conclusion, I just want to collapse. During those days, I tried calling the dancing center's director, but he wouldn't pick up the phone. All will be covered today in China Undercover. You find our information helpful, please subscribe and turn on the notification. In China, there have frequently been too many heartbreaking stories covered or distorted completely in the media. Among them, the inhuman training programs of education for children at a very young age are numerous and available on the internet. It could be a sign that the training exceeds the student's physical limits, and the consequences could be serious if not treated promptly. Recently, what shocking news is that a hospital in Nanjing received 5 children with lower limb paralysis in the past 3 weeks while dancing and bending her waist. According to Vice Chief Lu Xi'an from the spinal surgery department of the hospital, they have treated 5 children who became paralyzed due to spine deformities caused by learning dance during this summer. One young patient injured their spine while practicing bending at the age of 5. And due to lack of timely treatment, they are now 11 years old and already paralyzed. So, it is a wrong belief on training program in summer. The 2-month summer break leaves parents concerned about their children spending all day playing with phones and watching TV at home. Their choice is to let their children be enrolled in dance classes for physical exercise, especially among parents of girls. Although many parents want their children to take part in entertaining activities in the summertime such as dancing, drawing, and playing instruments for the overall improvement of their children's potential abilities, they unconsciously push their adorable children into a tragedy of being paralyzed all life long. A medical team from a top tertiary hospital in China, designated as a national clinical key specialty, has conducted research in recent years and found that dance training involving the lower backs has become a major cause of spinal cord injuries in Chinese children. According to incomplete statistics, since 2005, over 1,000 children in China have been paralyzed due to the lower back movement. In recent years, the number of children suffering from a lower back paralysis has been steadily increasing. This health risk is a byproduct of social development. In recent years, as the economic level has improved, parents have become more concerned about the education of their children. Their focus has shifted from merely ensuring their children attend school to valuing the quality of education and their holistic development. Consequently, various interest classes like children's dance have flourished, and among them, children's dance has gained widespread acceptance. A fierce race in a fast-growing economy. To stand out in this vast market, children's dance training classes face a new challenge. Some training institutions, in order to showcase their achievements and abilities, prematurely introduce high-difficulty movements like the lower back's exercise to students. Simultaneously, some parents mistakenly believe that better flexibility in their children indicates excellence. These two influences have created an atmosphere of impatience in the dance training industry. Additionally, there is a common misconception that the younger children start dance training, the easier it is to achieve flexibility, and as they grow older, their bodies become less flexible and resistant to further development. This widely circulated misunderstanding has led to a trend of lower age groups practicing lower back movements. Compared to adults, children's spines are more susceptible to relative displacement of intervertebral discs. If overstretched, irreversible damage can occur to the spinal cord. For children to practice high-difficulty movements in the waist, they need the necessary strength support and, more importantly, professional guidance and protection. As mentioned in the paper above, most of the children with spinal cord injuries from dance practice come from privately run dance training institutions in economically underdeveloped areas, where dance teachers often lack professional training. In other words, the rush to achieve results and the lack of professionalism in dance training have become significant health risks for children. While it is good to value children's interest and aesthetic education, they should never be exposed to significant risks as a result. The increasing number of cases of spinal cord injuries due to dance practice in recent years must be taken seriously. For parents, it is crucial to choose reputable training institutions with qualified professional teachers who can provide teaching plans based on the child's physical characteristics and progress gradually, rather than blindly pursuing progress. Relevant authorities should rigorously manage dance training institutions, strengthen the qualification review, and standardize training for dance teachers. Risk education should be given to parents, and both training institutions and parents should be aware of and prioritize the risks involved. Or dance training institutions and teachers bear the most responsibility. Interest training is also a form of education and requires professional qualities and capabilities. They must be accountable for the safety of their students and not merely driven by profit. Dance is an art of beauty, and professional training can enable children to learn and appreciate beauty. However, unprofessional training carries immense risks and can even ruin a child's life as a result of the failure in the management of training programs for children. In 2022, an 8-year-old girl named Xi'an from Wuhan suffered a spinal cord injury during a dance training session when she fell while doing the lower back movement. Despite receiving timely medical treatment and the hospital's best efforts, she had to wear a waist and abdomen brace and adapt to a new life at school. Similarly, a 10-year-old girl named King from Wuhan experienced a high-level spinal cord injury during dance training involving the lower back movement. After the injury, King suffered from urinary and fecal incontinence, urinary tract infections, and various complications, including spontaneous fractures in her leg and severe spinal scoliosis. Both King and Yin were patients treated by Professor Guo Xiaodong from the Orthopedics Department at Tongji Medical College of Huazhong University of Science and Technology. Professor Guo Xiaodong mentioned that children with lower back paralysis are prone to complications such as spinal scoliosis, severe osteoporosis, recurrent urinary tract infections, bed sores, and psychological disorders, making it a catastrophic condition. There are many other children who have experienced similar accidents. According to a study conducted by Professor Guo Xiaodong's team, due to the incomplete development of bones, some children are susceptible to longitudinal traction injuries to the spinal cord during the lower back movement in dance training, leading to acute overstretching spinal cord injuries. Through follow-up and phone calls since 2005, over 1,000 children in China have suffered paralysis due to the lower back movement, making it a significant cause of spinal cord injuries in children. Professor Guo Xiaodong stated that according to related data from 1992 to 2002, dance-related spinal cord injuries in all children with spinal cord injuries accounted for only 4.08. However, from 2015 to 2019, this percentage rose to 33.9, accounting for 64.1% of non-fracture dislocation-type spinal cord injuries, showing an increasing trend over the years. The fundamental reason for children's lower back paralysis lies in unscientific and non-standard training methods, said Zhu Linling, executive director of the Dance Committee of the China Education Association. She believes that some training institutions lack relevant qualifications, deviate from teaching norms, and fail to consider the psychological and physiological development of children, resulting in tragedies. Several professionals in the field of dance education revealed that in the authoritative dance examination materials of the Beijing Dance Academy, which are widely recognized in the industry, there is no lower back movement included in the syllabus for children's dance examinations. However, in current actual teaching in children's dance training institutions, problems like training lower back, splits, and somersaults as basic movements are widespread. Increased risk of injuries during training. Investigations by half-monthly talk journalists found that there are deficiencies in the professionalization, standardization, and scientific development of some art and sports-related extracurricular training institutions. These deficiencies have created hidden risks to the physical health of children participating in such training. The occurrence of unlicensed teaching is also common due to the lack of detailed regulations regarding non-subject training institution faculty. As a result, the entry threshold is low and a significant number of instructors do not have the necessary qualifications. A significant number of dance class teachers have transitioned from other professions, and some even buy their teaching qualifications directly, stated a dance lecturer from the Beijing Dance Academy. Without a systematic dance training background, these teachers find it challenging to establish a professional teaching system. Given that young people are in a crucial period of growth and development, improper training methods can lead to health risks for children. The inadequate qualifications of some training institutions and the lack of supervision are also problematic. According to Tao Searley, associate researcher at the Wuhan Academy of Social Sciences, there are no detailed and explicit standards for faculty qualification, training content, and teaching effectiveness for non-subject training institutions. As a result, some extracurricular training institutions conduct training without the necessary educational qualifications. On the one hand, there is an explosive market demand, and on the other hand, there are deficiencies in the regulation of the industry. Several experts suggest that to rectify the extracurricular art and sports training industry, it is essential to integrate related resources and explore the establishment of a standardized governance system led by the government in collaboration with families, schools, and society. The violence on physical training programs. There are many training institutions which actually treat children violently. We must be aware of the risk of the fact that Chinese children are easily abused in a potential way. Paying attention to the safety and health of children during the summer is necessary. During this summer break, many parents choose to send their children to participate in dance training. However, certain dance movements like bending the waist may seem common and necessary to practice, but they can potentially become silent killers, causing injuries or even paralysis in children. Spinal deformities and pelvic tilt can gradually occur over 6 years, so it's essential to correct these issues. Treating lower limb paralysis in children is a challenging problem worldwide. Over time, complications like spinal curvature and pelvic tilt may develop, leading to a lifetime of reliance on a wheelchair. Severe pelvic tilt makes it difficult for these children to sit equally on both sides of their buttocks in a wheelchair, and they need to use their hands to support their body and keep their torso upright. Some parents ignore their child's talents, abilities, and interests and arrange a series of demanding training courses with the belief that they are doing it for their child's own good. Even for young students with flexible bodies, they are forced to overcome innate limitations by practicing high-difficulty movements that go against the principles of biomechanics. Parents may see their children crying in pain during training, but choose to turn a blind eye, thinking that strict demands are for the child's benefit. Some parents may be aware that practicing high-difficulty movements can harm their child's body, but hold on to a sense of luck, believing that as long as they are careful, nothing bad will happen. For doctors, even unlikely events can lead to serious consequences if they accumulate over time. So it's not worth taking the risk. How can children learn to dance safely and healthily? Some children genuinely love dance, and parents don't want to discourage their enthusiasm. It's okay to use dance as a way to exercise and have fun, rather than staying at home and playing with phones all day. Dance can be learned, but the emphasis should be on cultivating interests. If the child doesn't want to become a professional dancer, it's best not to enroll them in classes that involve high-difficulty training. Some unregulated interest institutions accept students regardless of their talents, only to force them to do movements they can't complete, which can easily lead to physical injuries. Dancing students don't necessarily need to practice movements like bending, leg pressing, or aerial flips. If a student has a talent for dance and a strong desire to learn, they can receive specialized training in this area. However, teachers and parents must pay attention to the student's condition. If any discomfort arises, they should not be forced to continue training and seek medical attention as early as possible to avoid future problems. In conclusion, the practice of unlicensed teaching is widespread in China, primarily attributed to the absence of comprehensive regulations from the Chinese government concerning non-subject training. The lack of clear guidelines and oversight in this area has created a situation where individuals or entities can engage in teaching activities without obtaining the necessary licenses or approvals. This situation poses challenges to ensuring quality education standards and may lead to issues related to the credibility and effectiveness of such unlicensed training programs. Unfortunately, even though the Chinese education system is known for its intense focus on academic performance and high expectations for students, the Chinese government failed to introduce necessary regulations for the overall improvement of training programs in China. And that is today's episode. If you found this video informative, please subscribe and ring a bell to get notification. Thank you for watching and see you next time.